Hey everyone, welcome to day 69 of building the flight booking engine. This is one of the features that I thought I wanted to do offline, but I think it's a good thing to talk about it. This will be one of the final features of this project. I won't be adding anything new, so yeah, hang around with me until I wrap up this awesome project. I've enjoyed this series. So to cancel flights, we actually had an endpoint with a few changes to it. Okay, we had an endpoint in the past, and I just have a few changes to it. And I'm going to walk you through it and the things that have changed. Okay, but not actually much has changed. Okay, so we have this for getting a flight booking order, and then online. Let me expand this so you can see. Sorry. On line 284, we have a path operation. Okay, this path operation says router.delete, and the path is booking flight orders, booking ID. So booking ID is a path parameter. Okay, and then we have the path operation function. Okay, which takes in that booking ID current user is got via a dependency. We have the connection to our database session, which comes via the dependency called get session. And then you simply have a log saying booking cancellation initiated. And like you saw in the past videos, we are able to see this in Grafana, okay, visually in a proper way, okay. Then the simple validation, which I actually don't think we need anymore, okay, because our models, okay, the Pynatic models take care of that. So every time you write your code or AI generates code and you review your code from time to time, you will start seeing things that you can improve. Okay, you'll start seeing things that you can improve. Initially, we needed this, okay, but now we don't need UID validation. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Then after that, what do? We extract the booking from the database. And again, I want to tell you an advantage, okay? Not an advantage, but something good we can do. This line of code, which I've highlighted right now, can be put in a service layer so that our path operations deal with specifically getting requests, okay? Call functions to do validation if necessary, and call function services to fetch data, okay? And return the data to us. So this can be in a service, okay? Not here. Think about that. And change yours to do that, okay? Change your project like I told you, clone this project, fork it, and own it. Make changes so that it's yours. All right, so it simply says session.execute. What are we executing? This statement saying select a booking where booking.id is equals to this UID, which is from the booking ID that we have got, okay? Where booking.user ID equals to current user.id, okay? And after that, if there is no booking, we raise an HTTP exception with a status code of 404 and a message called detail saying booking not found, or you don't have permission to cancel it. Something like that. After that, we check if the booking was already cancelled. If you have cancelled the booking, there's no need for us to create another database operation for a cancellation. Okay, the first cancellation should be good enough. I hope that makes sense. The first cancellation is good enough. There's no need to cancel more than twice. So if you've already cancelled, okay, if the booking status, how would we know this? Once the status was changed to cancelled. So if the status is cancelled, then that's the end. And I'll show you when it's going to be cancelled. Okay. So if you had already cancelled it, this if statement will return true, and we shall raise an HTTP exception with a status code of 400. okay, with a message saying this booking has already been cancelled. Very awesome, okay? Then the third, of course, now when you're reviewing this code later, okay, you can remove the comments, okay? Some of the comments are unnecessary, but they're proper for a guide, especially when you're building out something. Then we continue. The next thing is I have statuses, okay, that if a booking is in that status, we cannot cancel it. I've called it a list of booking statuses. It's called non-cancelable statuses, which means if a booking has been reversed, okay, or a booking has failed, or a booking has been refunded, you can't cancel, okay? I've refunded you back your money, you can't cancel it. And by the way, one of the features we're going to build to wrap up this will be refunding, okay? Refunding someone their money. We're going to work on it very soon. So if a booking has been reversed, or it has failed, or it has been refunded, there is no need to cancel. Okay. And how do I do that? On this line 349, I check if the booking status is in this list. Okay. Meaning if the booking status is either reversed, failed, or refunded, I raise an HTTP exception with a status code of 400 and a message saying booking with status. I mentioned the current status of that booking and say cannot be cancelled. So if it is reversed, it will say booking with status reversed cannot be cancelled, or booking with status failed cannot be cancelled, or booking with status refunded cannot be cancelled. Isn't that awesome? Okay. So in case, and all these, by the way, can be put in a all this validation, okay, can be put in another function, okay? All this from line, if I can minimize this line, that line, this line, and this, okay? From line 337, okay, to 349 or 354, okay, around there. It can be put in a separate function and called, okay? After that, what do we do? I simply create a directory, not a directory. What's wrong with me? A variable to hold the PNR. Okay, so by default the PNR is none. Okay, so if I say if booking.amadeus order response, okay, then I simply extract the PNR from the Amadeus order response. I say booking.amadeus order response.get associated records. Okay, or otherwise give me simply an empty list in case it does not exist. But if it exists, okay, the PNR will be associated records, okay, the first item in the list at index 0, okay, get reference. So that reference is the PNR. Awesome. After that, okay, I then can now cancel, okay. So I say if booking.flight order ID, okay, then I cancel it. Okay, but of course, database operations can fail sometimes. Okay, that's why I have a try except. Okay, we can have a client error. So now here I call Amadeus flight service dot cancel flight order, and I pass the booking dot flight order ID. Then simply log that we have successfully canceled the flight. So let me go to cancel flight order. In cancel flight order, you'll see it takes the flight order ID, returns a dictionary. Okay, so here simply has a try except, and here simply calls self.amadeus booking to the flight order, passes in the flight order ID and says delete. As simple as that, and returns that response. In case there's an error, we simply raise it again. That is how simple this is. Now, when we now continue, okay, in case there's a client error, okay, we simply log that, a warning that we have failed to cancel, okay, we have failed to cancel. It says failed to cancel in Amadeus may already be cancelled, okay. So yeah, that is an issue that could happen, but in fact, let me remove this message, okay. In case it was already cancelled, this error will show, okay. So like I told you, every time you review your code, There are things that you can improve, and I've showed you suggestions. I want you to do them by yourself, okay? Because I've seen a number of you are cloning and forking the project. So I like that, okay? So go ahead and do that. So in case anything happens, I don't want to raise any error here, okay? I just continue with the local cancellation of the record, okay, in the database, even if Amadeus has failed, okay? So this handles the cases in case when the order was already cancelled, okay, externally. Maybe externally, Amadeus cancelled the booking, okay, and we also have to reflect it on our end in the database. So I don't actually delete it, okay? I don't delete the flight order from the database. I simply change the status, okay? And you're going to find that many times you don't want to delete anything, okay? You don't want to delete anything in your database, but you want to simply update a status. It helps you preserve data, by the way. It's a good thing. So next thing is very easy. Say booking status dot status equals to booking status dot cancelled. Okay, then we say session dot add, session dot commit, session dot refresh. What we always do. And by the way, this also can be put in a separate function. Okay, we can have a service, okay, which is responsible for only updating, okay, instances in our database, whereby that service takes in an instance name, okay, and the data to be updated. It's a very smart thing to do, okay? So all these are ideas of how to improve. Because look at this function. It's too long, okay? And so many things are happening in it, okay? If you look at this function critically, so many things are happening in it. It can actually be simplified, okay? So the next thing, we invalidate the user's booking, okay, in Redis, okay? So I say build Redis key, okay, user bookings, okay, simply to build the Redis key. Remember when we built a caching manager, if you've forgotten, check have maybe between day 20 to day 30, I'm not quite sure, okay, but you can check the playlist. You will see where we built our cache service. Then we simply delete, call the Redis cache dot delete. Okay, now we go to the awesome parts. I like this project, okay, because we have so many moving pieces together. There's a lot going on, okay? We have our logs happening, we have our Redis cache working, we have our event-driven Kafka, okay? So now I can now send a notification, okay? I say Kafka producer dot send. What are we sending? A Kafka topic. The topic to which we want to send to the message is called Kafka topics dot booking events. I hope you still remember what a Kafka topic is, what a Kafka event is, what a Kafka partition is, and how Kafka works. In case you're watching this and you missed that, please, I suggest you check, okay? Watch the video which says why we need Kafka. Watch the video about the producer. Watch the video about the consumer. Very important, trust me. You will thank me later in case you watch those videos. Please do. So here we fire off an event, okay? Or we produce an event, but this event belongs to a group of events called a topic, and the topic is booking events. And the data we want to send is this, okay? The event type is booking cancelled. The booking ID is this, okay? Remember, the IDs are UIDs, okay? And we want data to be easily JSON serializable. That is why you see me converting them to strings first, okay? The user ID is also being converted to a string because it is a UID, okay? Then we also pass the PNR, and then we pass the user email. And this is, remember, asynchronous, very asynchronous. So when we fire off the event, we are sorted, okay? We leave Kafka to do its thing, okay? The consumer will consume it. Then we simply log that the booking has been successfully cancelled, okay? And then finally, return a booking cancellation response, okay? Saying ID equals booking.id, and we are done, okay? If I go to booking cancellation response, this is something you're familiar with. Now everything else here, okay. If there's an HTTP exception, I simply raise it again, okay. And we catch things here, do rollbacks in case of anything, okay. Yeah, and then raise the 500 in case things really went wrong on the server. So that is it for the backend, but a few things on the backend I want to show you. They're not so hard. So to effect that notification, the number of things that need to happen. First on the backend, okay. Number of templates, okay. I suppose notifications are sent both to the admin and to the client, okay. So booking cancellation for the client is here, okay. And like you can see, I'd used AI to autocomplete and make edits to the templates, okay, for me, which I find very useful, okay. Of course, it took some prompts and reading and correcting, but in the end, it was okay, okay. But the changes are very few, okay. For example, here you see the booking ID, okay. Just had a few fixes here, okay, to show the PNR and the booking ID. That's all in this template. Then for the admin, the same thing, okay. The booking reference, which is the PNR, the booking ID, and the customer email. These look very nice, by the way. You're going to see them in a few minutes. I think for the backend, that is it. So you see, it's quite easy, very easy to implement. So the next thing that I can discuss is on the front end. So on the front end, okay, I have the pages, okay. The success page, okay, is where now we're going to show that the actual cancellation stuff, okay. And then also on the page, the booking page, where you have the list of bookings. But let's start from the list page, which lists. So here we have the user interface for a booking. And again, these interfaces, I'm seeing they're starting to grow in this file. They need to be put in a separate file altogether. So here we have the cancel modal state interface, okay, which defines simply the state for a model. You're going to see a model, by the way. Very nice model. I even didn't have to think so much of how to build it. That's why I love generative AI, okay? With a careful prompt, it was able to, yeah, give me exactly what I want. You'll see it in a minute from now. Not a minute, but a few minutes from now. Now, look at this. Says it's open, the Boolean. Booking ID can be a string or empty. PNL can be a string or empty. Loading is a Boolean. Then the cancel booking response has an ID, which is a string. Status is a string. A message, which is a string. Simply a mirror of what is on the backend. Okay, it's simply a mirror, exact thing. Okay, what we have on the backend is what we have on the front end. They are just a mirror. Okay, so and this is common. Okay, you'll always have to do this. That is why sometimes, by the I avoid using frameworks like Next.js. Okay, with awesome tools like HTMX. Okay, there's some projects I wouldn't have to do this kind of double work. Okay, double work in quotes. But yeah, this is awesome. I love it. Now we need to continue. Okay, so to continue, I will maybe close this, close that. The booking statuses, of course, we know them. We have confirmed, paid, pending, cancelled, reversed, failed, and refunded. So we need to, the only one we have not dealt with in implementation is refunded. But I'm going to create an endpoint to handle refunding. Then I will close that, get back here. So you see what has been changed is simply the implementation of these models, okay, with the appropriate state. Okay, so you see cancel model state, okay, is simply a type for this use state. Okay, we say cancel model which is the actual state, and set cancel modal, the actual function which changes the state, okay, equals to use state, cancel modal state, okay. Then we have the default state here, okay. And the default state, open is false, the modal is false by default, the booking ID is null by default, PNR by default is null, loading is false by default, okay. And all this simply match this, okay, this interface. Then for cancellation error, okay, we have the cancel error state, okay, which is a string or can be null. And by default, it is null. And set cancel error is the method or the function responsible for setting the error. Then the same thing for the success message. Pretty easy, nothing complex here. So I'll close that, close that. Then we have this, the can cancel booking, okay? It mirrors the validation that we have on the backend. So I have a list of cancelable statuses, which is a list of strings. This list of strings has 3 strings: a status for confirmed, a status for pending, and a status for when a booking has been paid. Okay, I simply return cancelable statuses that include the status, which is the argument to this function. In case the status that you've passed to this function is there, okay, this will return true. Include will return true if at least one exists, or false. Then there's a function here for opening the cancel modal. Simply taking the booking ID and PNR. Okay, and it says set cancel error to null initially and sets the cancel modal data by saying it is open is true, it sets the booking ID, the PNR, and the loading state to false. After that, we have a function for closing the modal. It simply flips, okay, that's the opposite, okay, by saying open to false. That's the trick, okay, and these others are the same default values. And of course, the error should be null. Then the actual logic for handling the cancellation. Okay, so if there's no booking ID, we simply return. We don't do anything. Okay, then for the cancel modal, okay, we pick the previous state, okay, by using this spread operator and simply change the loading value to true using this function. So you see, this is an arrow function. Then of course the error is null. Then we have a try catch because now we're doing a network request and this can fail at any point. So what happens is we now use our API client, okay, API client.delete. Remember, this is now a generic. We pass the cancel booking response, okay, to which endpoint? The endpoint is booking flight orders cancel modal.booking ID, what we simply defined in the backend. So I think now you appreciate this generic that we built in the previous video. Then after that, simply update the local state, okay, to reflect the cancellation. I'll remove that comment because I really don't think we need it, okay? But of course, in your case, if you need comments, add as many as you need, okay? Especially when you're learning. So we call a function, okay, which later returns a result of a function, which is map. Map returns an array, okay? And then it takes the booking as an argument and then compares if the booking ID is equals to cancel modal.booking ID, okay, if those IDs match, okay, then what happens? It applies the booking, all the data of the booking using the spread operator. It simply copies all that data to this new object, okay. Remember, this curly brackets in JavaScript means a new object. Copies all that data to the object and then changes its status to cancelled, okay. Otherwise, if this is false, it simply returns the booking. Then at the end, the close cancel modal is called, okay. Then we have a set success message, which we show the success message, okay. That is if the response has a message from the API. Otherwise, we put our default string saying booking cancelled successfully. And this introduces a toast, okay. You're going to see a nice toast, a very nice toast. I'm trying to introduce toasts with this feature. Then we set a set timeout, okay, to 5,000 milliseconds or 5 seconds to avoid it being so mechanic, okay, to ease out slowly, okay, and give time to the reader or to the user to read, okay, the message. As simple as that. Then if there's an error, we simply log, but I want to remove these logs. Okay, then we check if the error is an authorization error, then we log out the user and redirect them to the login page. As simple as that. And of course, this redirect simply means that after they have logged in, they'll be redirected to this page, okay? But I'm thinking of changing this to booking list instead of my, okay? It's not making sense anymore. So like I said, from time to time, you improve your code. Then we set the state of the cancellation error, okay? That if the error is an instance of the error object in JavaScript, we display the cancellation message, the error.message from the API. Otherwise, we simply say fail to cancel booking. Then we set the cancel model, okay, by applying a function, okay, an arrow function to a new object, okay. But this new object will have all the existing previous data. This is what these 3 dots mean, dot, 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 then prev, okay, called the spread operator. We are applying all the previous existing data, okay, for this cancel model. Then we only change is loading to false because we are done. We're not loading anything anymore. Okay. In fact, which data is this we're applying? Okay. It's simply this one here. This cancel error. Okay. As simple as that. So yeah, that is handle cancel message. So I want to show you these other things are the same. These are the same. Okay. Now to show you, there's a toast here. Okay. I generated a toast, okay? And a toast is simply a message, okay? So if there's a success message, okay, I show this div, okay? So if there's a success message, please show this div. As simple as that. And it has an amount of tailwind to style it. When I open it, okay, simply has a, where's the message? I want to show you the text. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here. Where was I looking for? This, okay? This way we display that success message. The rest is simply design, okay? Yeah, very nice. What else do I want to show you? Let me see, is there any addition here? Of course, here for canceling booking, okay? On the list, on the table, there's a change, okay? I added a button for canceling, okay? You're going to see. So I call a function can cancel booking, okay? If the booking can be canceled, then we show a small button, okay, saying cancel. Are you seeing this? Cancel. Then if you click, okay, on it, it will call the open cancel model. And the open cancel model will open that model for cancellation. So for those of you who are interested in JSX, yeah, take time to review the code. It's quite easy. I'm trying, let us see, okay. The same thing here. Okay, this is for the mobile view. Okay, now finally, this is the model I wanted to show you. Very simple, okay? So it simply checks if the cancel model is open. And again, this can be put in a separate JavaScript file. Okay, we simply have a backdrop, like you're going to see it, okay? Having a button whereby if we click on it, okay, it can help us to cancel the model. Simply calling the functions we have defined. And here it asks, are you sure you want to cancel this booking? Okay, and it displays the PNR, okay, tells you that this action cannot be undone, okay, displays the cancel error in case it exists, okay. Then we have, when you click it, okay, it can disable the status of the button depending on the state of the cancel model, okay. So we have the handle cancel booking, okay, which is responsible for actually calling the function which send the request to the backend to cancel the user. And of course, it will be disabled depending on the cancel modal is loading state. If it is true, it will be disabled. If it is false, it will be enabled. Very, very simple. Now, I want to show you. Wait, I think that's it. Oh, this success page. Okay, success page also has similar syntax. Okay, shows the cancelled message. Okay, in case the booking is cancelled, you'll see it. Okay, you'll see it on the booking on the booking detail page. Okay, we simply show a message if the booking has been cancelled. Yeah. In fact, I even see a lot of things to be improved on the JSX. Okay, isn't that nice? So yeah, time for the actual thing. Time to show you. So in this world of AI, you can generate code so fast. Okay, review it. I encourage you to use these AI tools. Okay, generate code, edit it, play around with it. So let's see. Seed into the backend. Docker Compose app. Actually, I was playing around with it and I really enjoyed. Then I'll go to the front end. See the front end. See the front end. NVM use 20. npm run dev. Open it. Okay. Do a sample. NYC. Choose New York. Go to London. Between that date and that date, you can now search for flights. Okay, says no flights found. I need to, data has to be preserved. Okay, I guess you click back. We hope for this one we can get. We try to expand this. I know it will look malformed, but it's better. Okay, so here we got some data. I can select this flight. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, a little bit. So I can confirm. I can fill in the test data. Click next. Agree to the terms and conditions. Confirm the booking. Oh, so it says we need authentication. Okay, let's log in. So I'll log in with Google. Okay, filling the test data. Next. Hit processing. Okay, and there we are. Our flight has been confirmed. And like you can see, we have a notification saying your flight booking has been confirmed with this PNR. So this is okay. Okay, now we want to do the actual cancellation. So our notification is okay. If you go to the email, okay, you can see that we have an email. Okay, are you seeing? Very nice email saying your booking is confirmed. And if you click on view your booking, it still brings you to the same page. So to cancel the booking, we go to bookings. Okay, and you can see I was playing around with some bookings in the past. Okay, I see this cancel button that I was explaining to you in the UI. So if I click on it, you see we have this nice model. Okay, says cancel booking. Are you sure you want to cancel booking? It tells you the PNR and says this action cannot be undone. Refund eligibility depends on the airline's policy. You get. As simple as that. Then if you say keep booking, it goes off. Okay. If I click cancel, click anywhere in the backdrop, it also goes off. Okay. And you can see we have a nice blur. Okay. Or backdrop. So if I click yes, cancel booking, canceling. See this nice toast I talked about? It says booking has been cancelled successfully, and it disappears. And if I go to the view details, you see in the quick actions, now we have this section saying this booking has been cancelled. If you paid for this booking, a refund will be processed within 5 to 7 business days. Okay. But in fact, it should be shorter to this. Okay. It should be between, I can say 2 to 3 business days. Okay. Yeah. Depending on the airline refund policy. That message also needs to be here. And if I check notification, you see we have a notification saying your booking has been cancelled. Isn't that awesome? So the notifications that I showed you that work via the Kafka producer worked pretty much. So this project has several things that are repeated, okay? Concepts. That is why even you see like in this live stream, I didn't want to write code line by line, okay? Because we already have logging, we already have the Kafka producer, we already have email notifications built in, okay? User interfaces are very easy to create these days, okay? But what is important is having the system thinking. You cannot AI generate your system thinking. That's why I walk through the implementation step by step. Now, if I go to, so you can see this is booking status cancelled also here, okay? This bill says cancelled. And if I go to the email, okay, we should see an email of a cancellation. So you see, says booking cancellation confirmed. Okay, says your booking has been successfully cancelled. Shows the booking reference according to the template I showed you. Shows the booking ID. Okay, says if you did not request this cancellation, please contact our support team immediately. Says if a refund is applicable, it will be processed according to the airline's refund policy. Best regards, Airbound Ventures team. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Okay. So this is how we wrap this up. Okay. So if you're enjoying this series, please like this video. Okay. Leave a comment. Okay. It helps the YouTube to know that this is nice stuff. Okay. And it recommends it to people who can also benefit from this. And share it in your WhatsApp groups, all your social networks. Okay. And let's keep this going. So this has been very profitable. Yeah, I think we have a few more streams to finish up this project, maybe 3, okay, or 4. Yeah, I think the end has come. Okay, we have come to the evening of this project. I think we have another notification. No, this other one is from, I think, Grafana. Okay, yeah, but you can see Grafana sending us our alerts. Okay, which is nice. Okay, there's something about Grafana, by the way, which can be done, but I don't want to go into that. It will complicate things for no reason. But guys, I hope you have learned something. This project has so many features. Okay, trust me, if you understood every concept in this project, you have no excuse to do anything you want to do. Okay, again, what is important is the understanding and system thinking, my friends. System thinking. Always, I'll continue saying that. System thinking. Okay, system thinking. Once you have system thinking, system design, system architecture, okay, your design principles in your mind, focus a lot on that. Okay, it will help you to even direct AI better. Okay, do code reviews better, do applications better, understand requirements for your clients better. Do this again and again and again and again and again until it sticks. Okay, don't give up, guys. Okay, I don't want to deal with people who give up. Do not give up. Okay, practice. If you're new to these things, okay, everybody began from somewhere. Even me, I began from somewhere when I didn't know anything. Okay, but because I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, I can talk about these things for 1 hour. Okay, Why? Because I have done it again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay? So do the same thing for yourself. Okay? This is January. Okay? Be very consistent. Be very consistent. Every day, do something about this project. Okay? Make it your own. Code. Try to understand there's in all these 69 days we have covered. At least every video covers a unique concept. Trust me, a unique concept is introduced. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. Okay, be consistent. Every time you be consistent, reward yourself. Every time you're not consistent, punish yourself. That is how you can manage. Otherwise, I appreciate you all for learning with me. I know many of you now watch after the stream, which is still okay. I also noticed that about 80% of you guys who watch are not subscribed. Okay, so I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe, guys. Okay, subscribe. And yeah, more awesome stuff is coming. After this, I want to start. I'm actually cooking 2 new things. Okay, there's a playlist. I want to create something really quality on microservices, and I want to do something quality on AI integration, AI engineering, not integration, but AI engineering, zero to hero. Yeah, and for microservices, I'm actually not going to only use my knowledge, but I've been actually consulting my peers. Okay, I have so many software engineers in my network who are really good, people who are better than me, people whom I look up to as my mentors, and I'm doing research with them to understand, to fill in gaps in my mind. Okay, so that when I give you stuff concerning microservices, it is really solid, combining my experience, my knowledge, and knowledge from my friends who are also experienced in these things. So see you soon. Bye for now.